readers, welcome! Thank you for coming. I am Lori, and this is Wit's Virtual Kindergarten. We're gonna have so much fun today, but before we do jump into some of that great learning and reading, let's get our bodies ready by singing and dancing to one of my favorite songs and also celebrating one of my favorite things, bubbles!
B-U-B-B-L-E-S.
B-U-B-B-L-E-S.
I said B-U-B-B-L-E-S.
I said B-U-B-B-L-E-S.
Bubbles.
Show your hands.
Show your hands.
Turn on the water.
On the water.
Get the soap.
Get the soap.
And here we go.
Here we go. B-U-B-B-L-E-S.
We're making bubbles, bubbles, stay out of trouble.
B-U-B-B-L-E-S.
We're making bubbles, bubbles, stay out of trouble.
I want to finish the song, but we have so much learning to do and so much fun to be had. Thank you for dancing with me. Now my body feels ready to learn. If you're like me and songs like that get you so excited because you love bubbles or you just like dancing, let's take a deep breath together so we can get ready to read and learn. Ready? I'm going to count into 5 and hold it. Ready? And then out for 5. There we are. Hi, friends. I am so happy that you joined me. There is a reason why we are celebrating bubbles today, and not just because I love them so much. We are going to be talking about a type of bubble today. Maybe you saw them while we were dancing. Did you notice? They were a special kind of bubble that popped up. In fact, boop, here's one right now. Writing down all the words I say. They are called speech bubbles. And the reason why we're going to be learning about them today is because one of our authors and the book that we're going to read today uses so many of them. Oh, look. The book we're reading today is called We Are in a Book with some of my favorite characters, Elephant and Gerald, by Willems. And Willems uses speech bubbles throughout his story. And it makes it very funny and so great to read. But it also is true for every story that if you use speech bubbles, your story can come to life. And the characters, they sort of capture you and want you to read. You want to read more. Today, while we're reading, we're going to notice how speech bubbles, which are, boop, those round circles with those little triangles, kind of like this, capture dialogue. Now, dialogue is just what the characters say. So in a speech bubble, you will not see dance moves. You will not see something that's describing the setting. You will only see what the character is saying. After we're reading today, and we notice all the speech bubbles inside, I want you to help me add speech bubbles to my story. Because the activity today, well, one of them, is for you to add to your story you've been writing or start a new one and use what we learn from our very special author, Willems, to make our story come to life and our characters seem more captivating. You remember the story? Spike is missing? I can't wait to read it with you. I've been adding to it and I hope that you like it. And maybe you can help me make it even better. Before we begin, whoop, whoop, I want you to know something. We're not just going to notice the speech bubbles in here. I have a challenge for you. You're big kindergartners now, and I think that you could handle it. It's a little tricky, but I know that you can do it. Inside my book, I put green Post-its on 2 pages, and they're hiding the speech bubble. And I'm going to challenge you to guess what is said under those Post-its in those speech bubbles. And you're gonna be able to use the clues, because Mo Willems does a lot of things over and over again, and he shows us what he likes to do over and over again. And you, I no doubt, will be able to guess what's under there. Let's begin. One of my favorite books, We Are in a Book by Mo Willems. Very first speech bubble. We are in a book. Title page. Thank you. So even though there's no words there, there is a emotion, right? You can tell by his emotion lines, he's feeling something. Piggy? Yes, Gerald? I think someone is looking at you. Readers, who's looking at him? You got it. Us. How's Piggy looking? He's looking very suspicious to me. Someone is looking at us. Huh? Who is looking at us? A monster? No, it is. You can tell which ones go with which character because they're the same color as them too. That's very helpful. Who's talking now? On this page. If you guess Piggy, you're right. And Piggy says, a reader! A reader is reading us! He's talking about you guys. How is the reader reading us? The reader is reading these word bubbles. Look at silly Piggy. He's on top of his own word bubble. We are in a book. We are in a book? That is so cool! I said it loud because the exclamation point, the big speech bubble, and I saw in the illustration, Piggy got pushed across the page because it was so loud. Oop, here's our first guessing stop. All right, readers, you're getting really good at speech bubbles and you're learning so much about them. Can you guess, based on the other words that I'm going to read, what Piggy says in this speech bubble? I'll read the whole thing and then you take a guess. Gerald says, we're in a book. Then Piggy says something. And then Piggy says, we are being read. And then Gerald says something. We are being read. Do you notice that pattern? We are in a book, something. We are being read. We are being read. Do you have a guess? Think about the pattern. All right, if you guessed he's saying the same thing as Gerald, you are a speech bubble master. Mr. Mo Willems is very good at using repetition for readers because it sounds good and it makes us feel good. And I think Gerald likes to copy Piggy, and Piggy likes to copy Gerald too, since they're best friends. Oh, I have a good idea. Notice how this is still Piggy, even though the speech bubble is right next to Gerald, because it's pink and the arrows point to him. I have an idea. I have a good idea. I can make the reader say a word. He's talking to you, readers. You can make the reader say a word. I can. If the reader reads out loud, so he's going to make me say it. That is a good idea. That is a funny idea. Here I go. banana. Look, he made me say it. Look at Piggy, so proud of himself. Did you hear that? The reader said, banana. Those silly guys, they're so excited about that. Oh, the reader said it again. They're laughing hysterically. No speech bubbles for the ha 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 though. It seems they're laughing even harder. Banana was so funny. Do you want to turn before the book ends? Piggy asked Gerald. He's asking him if he wants to turn, making us say something, I believe. But before he gets to do, we have another Can You Guess What's in the Speech Bubble? So remember what we talked about the repetition and how Mr. Mo Willems likes to use it as a tool in his books. And also Gerald and Piggy like to do it as well. So learning that, what can you guess is in this speech bubble? I'll give you a hint. You can see in that little gray arrow, it must be Gerald's turn to talk. He's the only speech bubble right here. And this second speech bubble says, the book ends. Let's read the previous page to see if you can guess it. Do you want to turn before the book ends? The book ends? You got it? If you guessed the book ends twice, you are almost correct. He says ends. Try to fool you. But it's very similar. Very similar. That was a tricky one on purpose. Yes, all books end. Look at Gerald's face. He does not seem happy about that. When will the book end? I will look. Page 57. Page 57 is the page. It is page 46 now. Eek! Now it is page 47. This book is going too fast. I have more to give. More words, more jokes, more bananas. I just want to be read. I have a good idea. It says whisper, so you go. That is a good idea. Uh-oh, we're at page 56. Hello. Will you please read us again? I hope this works. Me too. The end. And look at laughing Gerald. Well, I hope you read it again and again, as I will, because that was a fun one. Wow. What a great story. They always make me laugh. I'm still laughing at banana. Are you? But now it's time for us to use what we learned from Gerald and Piggy, from Mo Willems, and try to make our own writing even better. I need your help. So, just so you can remember a little bit more, this is a tale about Spike. And when we were in my classroom, after having him some time and building a huge terrarium for him, I noticed, with the children's help, that he was missing. In fact, it wasn't me first. We were doing math, and Kashi, who is Spike's feed her, well, she was, because that was her job for that week, noticed that she wasn't in her terrarium when she walked by after math. And then, after long looking and lots of tears and lots of scariness, Kashi actually found her. She put her whole body somehow behind a bookshelf. Kachi did, and that's where she saw her. She was way wedged inside a bookshelf that was against the wall, and who knows how she got in there. But as soon as we found her, everyone hoorayed, and honestly, it was the best thing ever because we learned a lot about how to keep her safe, and we never took her for granted, and all the kids were overjoyed, to say the least. They wanted to hold her and hug her and give her kisses all day. But my story is, I told you, is not written down all the way so far. I actually only have one page. I spent a lot of time thinking about how to say it in words and in pictures, and I'm kind of stuck. I don't think it's coming out quite right. I drew pictures as best I can to show what happened first. And this is a scene, the setting of after math, right after math, when Kachi noticed Spike was missing. That is Kachi. That's me. That's some kids in the rug I would have on the rug after math sometimes to help a little bit extra math. This is the terrarium. And these are the words. Notice there's a secret little Spike right there. She got away from us. We didn't even notice. The words say, one morning after the math lesson, Kachi went to check on her pal Spike. If you look at her face, what speech bubble could I add, do you think, that would captivate how she's feeling? Capture, I'm saying. What do you think she's feeling, or what's the speech bubble like? What's something that she would say now that she noticed one of her favorite pals in the world, precious baby Spike, is missing? I'll show you what I was thinking. I thought Kachi did and would say, Miss Brooks, oh no, Spike is gone. Because look at her face, and she really was scared. Now, one way you can do a speech bubble is use speech bubbles that are on another page, like the ones in your activity packet this week. Then write the words in and cut it out and then glue it to your page. Now, I'm going to have to cover some of my drawings that I did, my illustrations. And if you're like me, I don't really like doing that. There's another way you can do it. I did this as well just now, when I did Kachi's, but instead of cutting one out and having to glue one on to my illustrations, I just wrote the words that I probably would say, that I thought I might say, and then I just circled it, making sure to have a little arrow, a little pointer at my face, because that's how you know I'm talking. I said, really? Are you sure? I'm talking to Kachi. Let me look for her. She's got to be around here somewhere. I wanted to reassure my students, and also, I thought she was such a little baby then. She probably was just hiding. But little did I know she'd be gone for a bit. Notice how my speech bubble is a little bit curvy and funky. That's okay. I tried my best. Also, my drawings, maybe I can work on them a little bit better, but I think that drawing is one of those things that you only get better at and better at, and our story is the most important part, and our art is part of that story, and that we should not worry about making it perfect. We should worry about expressing it perfectly so that people understand our story and learn what they need to learn and hear what we want them to hear. All right, that's my story and our lesson for today. I hope you come back next time. We'll be finishing our Spike story, my Spike story, learning new cool ways to make our writing come to life, reading a book about a new topic that kindergartners love, and probably doing a fun dance again. All right, thanks for coming. Goodbye, readers.